a friend that I went to med school with, and we were deliberating on the impact COVID has had on our families and our work and everything else. And he's a surgeon, without mentioning the particular field. And what was quite interesting is he was hugely frustrated that the alcohol ban was still in place till yesterday. And I was quite curious to understand why. And he said, Terence, it's simple. If people aren't drinking, there's less trauma. There's less people in casualties, which means there's less work. And I laughed, but that is the reality. What do you think is a responsible decision for government to be making at this point? Because I can assure you, for some industries, it is a significant impact, including the alcohol industries, but as well as those like in the healthcare space, where work is reduced because of less trauma. And I'm not saying trauma is good, but in this case, for a surgeon, less trauma means less work, and less work means less theatre time, which means, simply put, less money. How would you evaluate this? How would you ascertain what the trade-offs are being made at this point when the country has opened up again to alcohol consumption, when we fully well know what the direct implications are? Like this doctor and my good friend said, there's less cases. But if we look at that in terms of a resource allocation, that means more people not related to COVID are by their own choice and choices associated with alcohol are going to land up in hospitals, filling beds, taking up resources, and consuming space that is still urgently needed for those who may not directly be conscious or have directly contributed to having contracted COVID and urgently need support for their treatment, for oxygen, and a range of other complications that are cropping up. I know one of my senior staff is critically ill at this point in a hospital. Her husband's been in hospital for 3 weeks. At the same time, I dread to think what her son's going through at this point alone, although as a young adult, it is extremely distressing. But what are your thoughts on the impact of alcohol being banned on one hand and the impact it has on certain economies, contrasted to alcohol being now freely available and the impact it has on the resources on healthcare? Let me know.